This presentation is designed to help you understand the main changes, or as they are formally known, the main modifications to the emerging Ipswich local plan that has been subject to examination by the Secretary of State by their appointed planning inspectors. The inspectors have requested main modifications to the emerging local plan in order to pass the government tests relating to soundness and legal compliance. The main modifications is the only matter the subject of this consultation. The tests are set out in the National Planning Policy Framework and require that local plans must be positively prepared, justified, effective and consistent with national policy. Comments are invited on any of the following documents: the Core Strategy and Policies DPD, the main modification schedule, the site allocations and policies incorporating the IP1 Area Action Plan DPD, main modification schedule, the policies map and IP1 area inset map, schedule of proposed changes, the sustainability appraisal of the main modifications, the habitat regulations assessment of the main modifications, and additional evidence that has been submitted during and after the hearing as requested by the inspectors. The Ipswich local plan sets out the council's vision and framework for the future development of Ipswich. The local plan looks forward 15 years and sets out the long-term strategy and allocates land for future housing and employment growth, along with planning for infrastructure to support it. The Ipswich local plan is a key document to ensure that the council is able to deliver the sustainable housing and employment growth to meet the residents' needs. The local plan assists developers in understanding policy, the policy expectations for Ipswich. It is a legal requirement for local authorities to have an up-to-date local plan in place. The emerging Ipswich local plan has been prepared in two parts. The core strategy, the document on the left of the screen, sets out the vision and objectives for Ipswich, the strategic policies to deliver this vision, and development management policies to guide sustainable development. And on the right, the site allocations incorporating IP1 Area Action Plan, which allocates land for different uses across the borough, including housing, employment, retail, leisure, open space and education uses. The council has been preparing the draft local plan since 2017. This has undergone 3 rounds of public consultation. The issues and options where the public was asked about the strategy for growth in 2018. The preferred options were where the draft plan was shown to the public in January 2020, and the final submission local plan, which was in June 2020. Following the public examination hearings in November and December last year, the inspectors have written to Ipswich Borough Council confirming the examination could proceed to consultation on the proposed main modifications. The main modifications are amendments to the plan suggested by the inspectors, which are required in order to address concerns raised through the examination hearing process. The examination ends when the council receives the final report on the emerging plan from the inspectors. Following the final report, the council can then adopt the local plan. So we will now look at what those modifications are. The council's housing requirement has been increased from 8,010 dwellings over the plan period to 8,280. This plan period is 2018 to 2036, but will remain a little lower than the current adopted local plan. So 8,280 dwellings in the plan period is equal to 460 dwellings annually. So this is up from 8,010 in the original plan, or 445 per annum in the submission version. The adopted plan has a housing requirement of 489 dwellings per annum. The council is adopting a stepped approach to delivery of housing, which reflects the difficulty in delivery of brownfield sites and the expected delivery rates at Ipswich Garden suburb. Initially, the target will drop to 300 homes per annum up to 2024, and after then it will be 540 per year. Because of the findings of the Council's whole plan viability report, brownfield flat-led development is far less viable. Therefore, the inspectors have suggested a modification to policy CS12, which allows these developments which have 65% or more flats on them to provide 0% affordable housing. To help address this position, the Council aims to supplement affordable housing provision through the development of its own sites. The accommodation needs of gypsies and travellers need to be considered alongside those of the settled population. It is a national government requirement that councils allocate land in their local plans to meet the needs of gypsies and travellers. To fail to do so contravenes the 2010 Equalities Act and the application of council statutory duty. The council's preference is to work with the gypsy and traveller community to identify smaller family-sized plots across the borough to meet the need for 13 additional pitches over the next 15 years. Small extensions are allocated to the west and east of the existing West Meadows site, as requested by the planning inspectors, which could accommodate existing family expansion if needed. The council is not looking to CPO the land or deliver additional pitches itself. This would be down to the landowners and community to want to bring it forward. The change is at the request of the planning inspectors. Humber Doucy Lane. This is a large new allocation in the plan in the northeast of Ipswich. The plan allocates land north of Humber Doucy Lane for development. This is part of a cross-boundary site with East Suffolk Council. A small area of land west of Humber Doucy Lane has been deleted from the allocation, which I hope you can see me indicating on the screen. This has been removed. In addition to this, the site capacity has been reduced from 449 dwellings down from 496 dwellings to ensure that the landscape and historic assets setting is protected. Employment and retail. There has been no change to the number of jobs proposed across the plan period, which remains at 9,500 jobs. Changes have been made to policies CS13, Planning for Jobs Growth, and DM33, Protection of Employment Land, to prevent inappropriate loss of employment sites. The main modifications accommodate changes the government has made to the use classes order and permitted development rights made in September 2020. And the modifications clarify the thresholds for requiring retail impact assessments outside of retail centres. Transport and air quality. Suffolk County Council stopped the Ipswich Northern Route proposal in February 2020. Therefore, references to Ipswich Northern Route have been deleted, although Ipswich Borough Council still supports for such a scheme should it come forward at a later date. The plan provides strong support for the requirement to achieve alternatives to private car for journeys, which is known as modal shift, in line with the Ipswich Strategic Planning Area Transport Mitigation Strategy. Changes have also been made to the supporting text in policy DM3, which relates to air quality, to make it clear that the policy is working towards achieving compliance with government air quality targets on pollution. Environment, heritage and design. Policy DM4 has been updated to make reference to updated government guidance and emerging SPDs, supplementary planning documents. Rewording to policy DM13 has also been made to have regard to the setting of the area of outstanding natural beauty in the southeast of Ipswich. Policy DM12 has been revised to include the need to meet new government building safety standards. The site allocations development plan document. Although there appears to be substantial change to this part of the plan, largely it relates to reformatting the document to improve usability and clarity. The following changes have been made at the inspector's request to ensure the plan is clear and unambiguous. The site guidance sheets have been replaced with site policies. All policies related to the IP1 area have now been grouped together, and site allocations outside the IP1 area are now also grouped together. All mixed-use allocations that require master planning have their own policy now. So moving on to the consultation details and how to get involved. As I said at the start, the consultation is running for 8 weeks and will end on the 23rd of September. We're consulting for 8 weeks because of the school holidays and due to COVID restrictions. The consultation has been promoted over social media and Twitter. Orange site notices have been erected on or near the allocated sites. Public notices have also been placed in local newspapers, the Ipswich Star and the East Anglian Daily Times. We are organising with the Norfolk and Suffolk Gypsy Travel and Roma Liaison Group to make a site walk around at West Meadows to discuss the specific Gypsy and traveller policy changes. This will be organised in the next 2 weeks. Comments can be made using the online consultation module on the IBC website, by emailing the planning policy in direct or in writing to the council's offices at Grafton House. If people are unable to view online the documents related to this consultation, they should contact the planning policy team, who can arrange for some information to be posted out. So what happens next? After the consultation closes, consultation responses will be sent directly to the planning inspectors for their consideration. The council is not involved in considering those representations. The inspectors will issue a report on the plan, advising whether they can consider the plan sound for adoption. If the inspectors are happy for the plan to be adopted, the amended plan will then go to the council's executive and full council meetings for adoption. If adopted, the emerging local plan will supersede the current local plan, which was adopted in 2017. So key things to remember regarding the consultation. Any comments made will need to be done in writing. We would prefer online representations via the consultation module. If you do not have access to a computer, then you can call 01473 43 2019, where the officers can help you with access to the information. You can only comment on the soundness and legal compliance of the main modifications, rather than the main policies and parts of the local plan that have already been through examination. Comments can be made on the 4K documents which were submitted during and after the hearings. You must respond during the consultation period, otherwise comments will not count. So that's by the 23rd of September. Please ensure that the main reference for the main modification number is in your response, and this is an MM number, which you can see circled here. Contact details for the department. So if you have any queries about the content of the modifications, please contact Ipswich 432 019 or email planningpolicy@ipswich.gov.uk. The address for postal returns is the Planning Policy Team, Ipswich Borough Council, 3 Grafton House, 15 to 17 Russell Road, Ipswich IP1 2DE. If you have any queries about the process and proceedings, we have a contact number for our programme officer, Annette Feeney, and her number is Ipswich 432 006 or 07775 771 026, or by email annette.feeney@ipswich.gov.uk. Thank you for listening to the presentation.